Now before we dive in, if you find my videos useful, make sure to click that subscribe button and also make sure to click that bell icon on the side to get notified every time I upload a new video. And of course, if you do use Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, make sure to follow me on all at SakiTech Online, also for the latest updates. Alright, let's dive in. Hey there, Saki here from SakiTech, and in today's video I'm going to share over 200 plus tips, tricks, features, advanced features, and basically a full and complete tutorial of your Samsung Galaxy S10 or the S10 Plus as well as the S10e. So the Samsung Galaxy S10 is one of the most powerful smartphones in the world with deep and rich features. And I want to make sure that you gain complete mastery over this fantastic device. So I am going to start this video off with some light and quick tips to customize your smartphone and then dive deeper into advanced and hidden features that will blow you away. We'll talk about security, customization, the edge panels, the edge lighting, a complete tutorial of BIXBY and all its components, secure folder that allows you to hide photos, videos, and files, the Samsung DeX functionality, and so much more. And of course, I want to make sure that I time code all the major topics so you get a nice and clean breakdown if you want to jump around within the video. Alright, so let's dive in and discover. Alright, so let's get started right away. The very first thing I want you guys to do is go to the settings and then scroll all the way down, go into your About Phone section, and then click on Edit right here and simply rename your Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. Now in my case, I'm going to rename it to Saki. And what this is going to allow me to do is when I connect my phone to other Bluetooth devices, it's going to be more easily recognizable. And also you now have a custom name on your smartphone. So there we go. That's Saki 10 Plus. Fantastic. Let's move on. The next thing I want to have you guys do is, as you can see on the top, you do have a battery icon, but you're not seeing the percentage meter that shows you exactly how much battery is left. So what you want to do is you want to bring this down, go into the option over here, tap that three dot button here, and then go to status bar and quickly enable the show battery percentage meter. And now it says 61%. That's much better than the normal icon. Now one more thing is when you swipe down on the screen, it takes you to the app drawer. When you swipe up, it also takes you to the app drawer. And also when you tap on this button, it also takes you to the app drawer. So there's a lot of redundancy going on here. Let's fix that really quickly. The very first thing I want to have you do is pinch on the screen, go into the home screen settings, and then enable the quick open notification panel. Just click on that. And now when we go out, when I pull down on the screen, it actually brings down the actual notifications panel. Okay, so when I swipe up, it'll go into the app drawer, but when I swipe down, it brings the notifications panel, and when I swipe it one more time, it is going to expand that and give me access to the quick toggles. And the other thing I want to have you do is I'm going to have you guys disable this button in case it is enabled. So what I can do is pinch on the screen, tap on home screen settings, and on the top over here it says apps button. So what I can do is I can disable this, and when I go out, now that button is gone, and what I can do is now I have one extra room for an extra app to get dumped right over there. So I can grab one of these guys over here and put it right over here, and that's just more convenient than having redundant buttons all over the place. Now swipe up, go to the app drawer, swipe down, notifications panel, and then here we have an extra space for a new app. Now one thing I'm going to show you guys is, I'm going to show you this in a second, but I do have a little panel here on my edge screen that allows me to lock the screen. I'm going to show you how to get this done, but let me lock the screen really quickly. What I want to show you guys is when the screen is turned off, you can tap it once to show the always on display that I want to be talking about in a second, or you can tap it twice and that's going to take you to the lock screen. Now in the lock screen, what you can have is you can have face widgets. So let me double tap here, and as you can see, I have the music controller here if I was actually playing music. I have the calendar widget over here. I can also have the alarms, and I can also have the weather over here. And again, these are things you do have to enable. So let's go inside. I'm going to show you where they are. Let's go to the settings. Let's go to the lock screen, and then from here go to face widgets, tap on it, and make sure that the ones that you do want are enabled. So they're going to show up on the top of your lock screen. Now let me go to the always on display, which is right here. Make sure that this is enabled. Basically, if I go in here, it is fully customizable. This one is enabled. Let me just X that out. And then the display mode should be set to tap to show. Do not do show always. That is going to eat your battery life a lot. You can also do show as scheduled, maybe at nighttime, but tap to show is the best option. With this option, again, if I lock the screen, I just have to tap the screen and it's going to show me the always on display for 30 seconds. Okay, so that's not going to eat battery life and you still get the benefits of having an always on display. And of course you have the option to show music information. So if I do enable this and if there was any kind of music playing in the background, it would show up. It would automatically recognize what song is playing and give you information on exactly what that song is, including the artist name and the song name. Anyway, let's move on here to the always on displays clock style. So if I go over here, tap on clock style, I can choose the always on display and actually modify the way that clock looks. So you can pick all these beautiful options. There's so many of them, all right? You can have this clock, that clock, this clock if you want. Let's pick this one, then tap on color, and now you can also change the color of the clock that you desire. So if I click done, if I lock my phone one more time, if I tap, you're going to see that we're going to have the new clock option on the top. So double tap to go to lock screen, fingerprint, boom, we're right in. And of course, while we are here, if you do tap on the clock style, you can also change the lock screen's actual clock style. That was for the always on display. If you tap on this one, you can also pick different options for your lock screen, such as this guy over here, this one over here, this one, whatever you want. All options are right here. And then if I go to the color, I can pick any color that I want from this color wheel, click done, and that's the red color. Click down one more time. If I lock it, boom, you've got that beautiful clock on the top right over here. And still, you have access to the face widgets that we just talked about. All right, fantastic. Now, one more customization that I really personally enjoy is if we go in over here to settings, go back to the lock screen, and go over to the contact information, I like to put a little signature on my lock screen display. So if I tap on this one, I can just say Saki Tech. You can also put a quote here if you want, your name or whatever you want. Okay, so I click done, and if I lock the screen, boom, at the lock screen, it's gonna say Saki Tech right under the date and time over here. So again, that's a nice personal touch. Now you must have noticed that every single time I lock the screen, and if I go back into the lock screen, I have a different wallpaper. To achieve this effect, just pinch the screen, go to wallpapers, and then go into view all for your wallpapers, and make sure you pick the multi-pack option. It says it at the bottom here. So when you pick the multi-pack option, you have the ability, the phone has the ability to just pick a random wallpaper from a list of wallpapers that you have downloaded, all right? So that's a multi-pack option. You have several options here, as you can see, all right? They're all gorgeous, just an FYI. Now, one more thing I'm going to be talking about is the navigation buttons at the bottom. You got the back button, the home button, the recents button. Now, this is fully customizable as well. So if I go to the settings over here, and if I go into display, all I want to do is swipe down to where it says navigation bar, tap on it, and then what you can do is you can actually hide these buttons, and then you have three lines over here that perform the same function. You go home, all right? You bring up the recent apps, or if you're in a menu, you go back, just like by swiping up. So that's back, home, recents button. Now, if I go back to navigation bar, if you want a true full screen experience, you can disable the gesture hints, and those three lines at the bottom disappear as well. Now you just have to remember what's what. As you can see, I can pull up the recents, I can go back, and all that good stuff. Let's go back to navigation bar here, and let me just enable the gesture hints. I like to have them, but really I just like to have the actual buttons for some reason. And of course you can reorder the buttons here as well. I can have the back over here, recents over here, but this is the way I like it. All right, now let's move on to the next customization tactic. One thing I do want to show you guys really quickly on the home screen is this amazing thing you can do with the app. So if you want to create a folder for a bunch of apps, all you have to do, you don't have to create a folder and put apps in it one by one. For example, let's say I want to group all these icons here, these apps, into one main folder. All I have to do is press and hold on one of these guys, then say select items, then select the items I want to group together, and then just say create folder, and boom, we've got a folder, and I can actually give it a name, main, and then I can give it a color just to color code that folder. For example, if it was a finance folder, I could just have my finance apps in a green folder just like that. So that's a fantastic way for efficiency and customization and quickness. Of course, if I want to undo that folder, I just tap on this guy right here. I select it again. I just select items, select all the items I want to take out, grab it, they get grouped together, and I just move it and dump it right over here, and we're back in business, okay? So customization is real cool and easy and fast. Which also brings me to one more thing. Make sure that you understand you can click on any one of these icons to bring up extra information. So just click and hold. It's going to give you options, and also it's going to give you notifications if you do have any messages. So if you pinch the screen, tap on home screen settings, go to app icon badges. What you can do at the bottom here is you can enable show notifications. So when you do tap on these icons here, if you do have a missed call, it's going to show up somewhere right over here. On the YouTube application, as you can see, I have a notification. There's a small dot. If I press and hold, it's going to show up what the notification is right here. Okay. Now when we go back here and go to app icon badges, you can change that to show with number or show without number. I like it like this. It's nice and clean. With the number, if you had 5 messages, it would just say 5. If you had 10 missed calls, it would just say 10. But with this way, it just gives you a dot showing that there's something going on over there. Now, one amazing thing about the Samsung Galaxy S10 and the One UI is the fact that you can enable the dark mode. So if I go to display one more time, and if I go into the night mode, that's the night mode. Now, a lot of people don't know that night mode itself is also customizable. So if I pull down the notifications panel, you'll see that the active toggles are under blue color, and then you have these accent fonts over here at the bottom of the main option. They're also blue. All these things are changeable. So what I'm going to show you guys is how to do that. So go home, pinch the screen, go into the themes, and then just pick another theme from here. So we have a bunch of pre-installed options. We have white, green, yellow, pink, blue. Let's do the yellow one real quick. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So if I click apply on this theme, the night mode itself is going to change, which is fantastic. So let me show you what that is. Now when I go back into the night mode and I pull down the notifications panel, that color is now different, okay? And if I go to the settings, you'll see if I go to display, the accent colors at the bottom of the main setting is also changed to a brownish color. Now this is a great way to customize your smartphone, and of course if you disable the night mode, you also get access to these other themes that just changes the way your phone looks. As you can see, if I go to the settings, we've got all these different things. That's great. Every single thing in the phone changes. So the calculator here is going to look different. But let me show you just one more quick thing. Let me enable the night mode over here. You can enable the night mode from here as well. So right here, boom, night mode. You'll see that the calculator looks different in this night mode. But if I go back over here to the themes, let's just do it the regular way. Go to pinch, go to themes, pull down, go to default, click apply. And then when I look at that calculator in the different theme, even the calculator is going to look a little bit different. So that's what it was. Now that's what it is. Now I got the green accent colors. Okay, so that's fantastic. Let's just turn this off really quickly right over here. All right, let me kill that, and let's move on to the next tactic. Now, one more thing is, as you know, the Samsung One UI, which this phone is running on, is designed to bring everything down towards you. So if you pull things down, it is within the reach of a one-handed usage. If I do go to the settings, if I go to display, for example, I can pull this down, it comes down towards me. If I go to the messages, everything is positioned at the bottom. I can start a new message by tapping there and all that good stuff. But there's also a true one-handed mode that you do want to use. For that one, you go to the settings, you go into the advanced features right over here, and then you go to motion and gestures, and you enable the one-handed mode, that is this one. When you go inside, you'll notice that you can activate this mode 2 ways. I like the button mode, so you tap the home button 3 times, and now you get a true one-handed mode. You can also justify this to the left or right based on which hand you're holding your phone with. And now the entire phone is fully usable with one thumb without having to worry at all of using your second hand. I can do anything I want on this phone. When I'm done with this one-handed mode, I tap here and it just goes back in business. All right. So let me go back here for a second. That is the true one-handed mode. Make sure that it stays enabled and it's available at the tap of 3 home buttons. 1, 2, 3, boom. All right. When you're done, click it, you're back in business. Let's disable it for now and move on to the next tactic. Now, 2 things that are related to media, which is video playback and sound playback, is something you should enable right away. The first thing is the video enhancer. So go to settings, and while we are here, I do want to show you, you can search for any setting that you cannot find. So I'm not going to go directly to the video enhancer. I'm just going to tap on search here. I'm going to type in video enhancer, and as you can see, it comes up and it's under advanced features. I can go right into it. But if you did want to go into the advanced features directly, it is right here. That's the advanced features. And if you go down, that's the video enhancer. Go inside and make sure that it is enabled. So it is going to enhance video when you play back on all apps that you download that are relevant to video playing apps. So that's for video, for maximum video quality. Other thing you want to do is you want to go to sound and vibration over here. Scroll down, go to advanced sound settings, and then go to sound quality and effects, and make sure Dolby Atmos is enabled and pick it at auto so it can automatically kick in when you're watching a movie, music, voice, or if you enable this also for gaming. Dolby Atmos is going to give you a surround sound like experience that is going to be better than if it was disabled. And go back right outside. And one more thing is, if you do go into your phone application, this is something that I like to do personally. I go to the settings over here, I tap on answering and ending calls, and from here I make sure that I can actually take a call by pressing the volume button here, or I can end a call by pressing the power button here. So instead of just swiping on the screen, you have access to physical buttons to accept calls or end calls. Alrighty? And I did promise you guys that I'm going to show you how to get this soft key edge feature over here. By the way, you can tap on this button to quickly access your edge panels, or you can just swipe through them as I'm doing right now. So to get the soft key edge, which also allows you to take a screen capture just like that, and also let me just click allow, and also to lock the screen without pressing the power button, you go to the settings, you go and tap this button on the top, and you go to Galaxy Store, and from here you simply search for the soft key edge. So soft key edge, okay? And it's going to be right there. You download that. Once you download the thing, it's going to actually show up settings right here. And then you just enable it like this, all right? And then you have access to these things over here, the recents key right here, and also you have access to home, back, screen capture, also lock. But that's just great. Now one more thing, if you tap on recents, you have all these app icons over here. You can always tap on the top here to start multitasking split screen just like that, as you can see. Or again, let me just get rid of that, go back home, tap on this. I can also tap on these things and open the pop-up window. So let me do that with something like the calculator app. So I can tap on here, tap over here, tap on this, and it's going to actually give me a pop-up window that I can also minimize and put anywhere on the screen that I want. I can do something else over here, and then I can tap this, do a quick calculation, put it down there anywhere I want, and we're good to go. All right? Fantastic. Now one quick tip with the settings of the fingerprint. So if I go into settings, if I go into biometrics and security, and if I go into fingerprints, I'm gonna put my password in right here. And then as you can see, I have 3 fingerprints registered, and I've renamed 2 of them. To rename fingerprints, you just tap on it and you name the whatever finger that you scanned in. Now if you don't know what finger that is, you can tap on check added fingerprints. You can put your finger there and it'll tell you that this is the left index. And then I have my left thumb over here, and the only one that was left over was the fingerprint 1, which was my right index right there. All right, so that's that, and make sure that you guys allow this option, show icon when screen is off. So if you disable this and the screen is off, you're not going to see the fingerprint icon. But if you have it enabled, let's lock the screen really quickly. If I tap it once, it shows you where the fingerprint sensor is. If I tap it twice and go to the lock screen, again, it shows you where that is. If I did not have this enabled, this option here, tap on this one here, go back, lock the screen real quick, tap over here one time, it's not going to show it. So that's just a few things you need to know about the fingerprint sensor. Now the very first thing I'm going to show you guys is something I've been actually waiting for a long time. I've been waiting for a precise copy and paste tool built into the keyboard. It's now here. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me just launch Chrome over here and let's just make sure the keyboard comes right up. So normally when you have to copy and paste something, for example, let's say I want to copy and paste a portion of this over here, it's very hard to do. So I cannot just easily copy just Google right here. So I would have to press and hold. Sometimes it selects the whole thing. Then I have to do something like this. And sometimes it just takes too much time and it's not precise. All right. So what they have added to the actual option, keyboard option, is a tool. So what you want to do is based on how your keyboard is set up, you can, if you're seeing suggested words right over here, then you can tap on this button here and that's going to bring up the menu. If you tap this button one more time, it just gives you suggested words. So we're going to tap this one. It's going to convert into the settings. And then you can tap this to expand the options. And on the side, you have the text editing option. So with the text editing option, you're going to tap on it and you get this nice little joystick to precisely control what you can copy, cut, select, and paste. So let's say I just wanted to copy a little portion of this www.google.com. Let's just say I want to copy and paste GLE or just GL, okay? You know how hard it is to actually narrow down to that area just using your fingers. So what you can do here is you can first move the cursor using this joystick to where you want it. Then you can tap on select and then you can go twice over here and now I have GL copied, no problem, okay? Then I can copy that and then I can, erase this and just tap on paste and boom, we've got GL right there. This is an absolutely fantastic feature. And of course, it's got everything over here. So just to give you an example, if I were to go to, again, let's just go to Google. Let's bring up the keyboard. Let's say that this was a big paragraph here and I wanted to just select the whole thing. I just tap this over here. I tap on this button, go to text editing, and then I can just select all and just erase it, okay? So you have the full functionality built into it. Just play with it and learn how to use it. Now, I do want to show you one more thing. If you're wondering what case I'm using for my Samsung Galaxy S10, see the link in the description box down below. This is an official Samsung case and it's a fantastic case. So check the links below and now let's move on. And that has to do with the keyboard. Now you notice I'm pressing this button to reverse from suggested to the actual menu. And as you can see, we have the settings option right here. I can tap on this. It'll take me into the keyboard setting option. Inside keyboards, I can modify the keyboard to the way I like it to work for me. So I can tap on keyboard layout and feedback. And what I can do is make sure that keyboard toolbar is enabled. So if I disable this, all right, and just click OK for a minute, I'm going to show you guys, if you do go in here, you're not going to see those options here. So you would have to tap here. You're not going to see any one of these options right over here. So that thing over here has disappeared. So if you were not able to see that thing, then you do want to go back into the settings where I just went and actually enable that option. But if you don't have that, you can still press and hold over here on this area, and that's going to expand to give you that option as well. Okay, so you can go to the settings here. I just happen to like it on the top as a keyboard toolbar because it is easier to actually access. The other thing over here, which is also a very nice feature, if you tap on keyboard themes, you can pick from a dark or a light theme. All right. You can also do things like, let me just go back here. Where did it go? Right here. You can do adaptive theme, which I don't like. That's just going to adapt the keyboard to whatever background that you have at a given app. Now with this one here, you can pick the light or the dark version. And of course, you can enable or disable the actual key border. So you get a preview right here. Okay, so that's the preview for the light, and that's the black. And this one is without borders. I can click apply. And if I do want to add borders, which I like to have, you can have it this way. Now you got borders. The keys are more clearly defined, but some people don't like that, so you can disable that and have the other version. And while we are here, might as well just show you this too. So if you do a high contrast keyboard, you'll notice that you'll be able to pick all kinds of different colors. You can customize your keyboard as you please, okay? So that's great as well. Now this is only good if you want a high contrast keyboard. I like the other ones better, so I'm going to disable this. This is much better right over here. And finally, you can tap over here. You can change the size of the keyboard. If you want a bigger keyboard, maybe you have bigger fingers, you can change the size or you can reduce the size. So it takes less screen real estate and you get to see more on the top. All right. And of course, you have other options here as well. You can have the number keys disabled. So that's going to make the keyboard even smaller. Then you can access them from here, obviously. But if you like the number keys like I do, you can just tap that. You have it right there. All right. So that's the keyboard tactics that I absolutely love. Now, one new option that we have on the Samsung Galaxy S10s with the One UI is something known as the lockdown mode. So if I press and hold on the power button here, you get three options. I'm going to have you add one more option to that three options. You get the, let me just show you real quick. You got the power off, restart, and emergency mode. What you can do is if you go to the settings, and if you go into the lock screen, and if you go to secure lock settings, you tap on this one. Let me just put my password in, nothing special here. You can enable the show lockdown option. So if you enable this, you're going to get this option. You can tap it and it's going to lock the phone. But to unlock the phone, you cannot use your fingerprints or any other method. The only fingerprint you can use is your PIN number. So that's great. Maybe you're going to sleep and you don't want somebody trying to use your finger to actually unlock your phone while you're sleeping. That's possible. So that's why you have a lockdown mode. So nobody can access your phone unless they simply know the actual PIN number. So now, if I press and hold on the power, you're going to see the lockdown mode. If I tap on it, it's going to lock the phone, all right? But as you can see, there's no biometrics here. You have to swipe to unlock. You have to put your password in. So that's a great little security feature. If you want to make sure that nobody uses your finger to unlock your smartphone, maybe when you're asleep or taking a nap. These things happen. But now you can secure that as well. Let's move on and talk about the next secret feature. So normally when you actually press the recents button, and if you tap this button over here, you do not see this option here that says pin this app. Try it on your phone right now. You're not going to see pin this app. I'm going to make sure that you guys disable that option just in case you have it. So let's go to the settings. Let's scroll down over here and go into the biometrics and security. Go all the way down, tap on other security settings, and at the bottom you've got pin windows. So make sure this one is enabled. Let me show you what it does. So basically, if you have your phone and you want to give your phone to a friend, let's say you just want him to see or her to see a specific app and nothing else. What you can do is you can give him, let's say, Chrome application, tap on this button, go to Chrome, tap that button, and pin that app. All right, so that app is now pinned. The person cannot exit that app. They can only stay in this app and nothing else. Now, if you want to exit the app, you have to press and hold on these two buttons, and that's going to take you right here, the recents and the home, and that's going to take you to the lock screen from which you have to actually log in to exit the application. So this way, if you give somebody your gallery, your browser, or just showing them something specific, they cannot exit that app and start toying with the rest of your phone. So quickly with that option, I'm going to just clarify something. If you go to the biometrics and security, you can go into the other security settings, and it's right here. When you do enable it, you can require for the PIN not to be asked. So if I do this, all right, and if I pin the window now, let's pin this app, you still cannot exit this, okay? But if you press and hold on these buttons, it is going to unpin the app without you having to put your password in. So that's the app pinning feature you can apply. The next thing I want to talk to you about has to do with the phone. If you go into your phone, and if you tap on this setting and go to settings, there's an option here that says show calls in pop-up. So let me disable this, which is a default on how you get all your phones. Let me call myself from my other smartphone real quick. So let me dial myself, and you'll see that the regular pop-up is going to pop up, and it's going to just ring the phone. And let me just accept this call. And as you can see, this is a full screen view. The phone takes over the other app. So let me show you how to fix that so the phone does not take over the app. So let me just decline this call, go into my actual phone, go into the settings, and enable show calls in pop-up. So this way, what's going to happen is I'm going to call myself right now, you'll see. Now when I accept the answer over here, as you can see, the window stays here, so it can still work with this application at the bottom. So the active call stays in pop-up form, so I can still see what's going on in my existing app. Sometimes when you get a full phone call and you put it on like speaker or something, which I can from here, it just fills the screen and takes away from whatever you were doing. Maybe you just want to talk to somebody, say quickly goodbye, and go right back to what you were doing. So for that, make sure show calls in pop-up is enabled, so when you are in another app, the phone application doesn't take over the screen when you accept that call. So let's click end on this one. And real quick, I'm going to show you one more thing. So if you go over here to answering and ending calls, what you can do is you can assign the press volume up key to answer a call, or press power key to end the call. So now you have physical keys to take or reject calls instead of swiping on the phone. All right, that's much more practical and useful. All right, let's move on. And one more thing I want to talk about has to do with the Smart Select option. Now this option is in the edge screen, so let me just bring that up. It's right over here. This option normally is reserved for the Note series of Samsung smartphones, so on the Samsung Note 9, Note 8. So you can use these with S Pen, but now they actually added this option here so you can access it for the other smartphones as well. So what you can do with this Smart Select is just select parts of the screen and save it as a screenshot. All right, so that's saved. But if I go back here, I can do it this way too. So that's the circle, make it small or big, any portion of the screen on any app, anywhere that you want. And then you have the animation mode, and of course you have the pin to screen mode. So if you tap on animation, and if there was a video playing in the background on YouTube, you can record that video and turn it into a GIF animation, which is going to be saved and can be reused over and over. So you can create your own GIFs using this option. Now this option, you have to go to the settings and then enable it in the edge panels. It's called the Smart Select option. Should be in here, but if it's not here, go to the store, Galaxy Store, and just search for Smart Select, and then download it by tapping that button, and it's going to show up right where I was at, right here. And just enable it, and now you have this powerful little screenshot and GIF maker utility. All right. So let me lock up my screen. I'm going to double tap right on it. And as you can see, we have a gorgeous video wallpaper that is playing in the background with no stutter or lag. Now, when you double tap your lock screen and when you wake it up, you can press and hold on the screen so you can watch the full video wallpaper play all the way through. When you let go, it goes back in the regular lock screen and turns off in a couple of seconds. But if you keep it pressed just like this, you can watch the entire video wallpaper play through. As you can see, beautiful, gorgeous environments. And of course, the entire video, which is 15 to 20 seconds, is just going to loop around as long as you keep it pressed down like this. Now, when we go inside and when we pinch the screen, I'm going to show you how to get the actual wallpapers. You either pinch the screen or press and hold on the screen and then go into the wallpapers. And then all you want to do is tap on search. Let's click OK. Tap on search and tap for search for video. I mean, that's actually enough. So when you tap on search, what you want to do is you want to make sure that the wallpaper that you're downloading at the bottom right says video. Okay, that means it's a video wallpaper. So let's just take a look at one of these guys. So here's one example right here. And what you want to do with this is you want to download this. I'm going to show you when you go into your regular wallpaper screen right over here, and if you tap on view all, you are going to be able to identify your video wallpapers by the text at the bottom right. When you go inside, it is going to give you a full preview of that actual wallpaper. And of course, if I set the wallpaper, now that is the wallpaper on the actual lock screen. Now, these are mostly for the lock screen. I haven't seen one that is for the actual wallpaper in your home screen. So let me turn off the phone real quick. Tap on lock, double tap, and that's the new video wallpaper. Again, if I press and hold, it's going to play through the entire video clip and it's going to loop around, which is 15 or 20 seconds. But when you let go, it goes back and you can just tap and go right inside. All right, so go to wallpapers and just search for video and that's all you need to do. You can scroll through all these gorgeous papers right over here. For example, something like this. Let me just download a couple. Let me just show you in case you don't have an S10 and you just want to see what's happening. Let me show you a couple of these guys. So let's tap on this one. I do like landscape stuff, so this is perfect for me. And of course, you have things like this as well. So let me just grab something a little bit different. That's actually paid. So some of them are going to be free, and some of them you have to pay some money for. So let's grab something like this. That's free. Download. Let's tap on this. Download. And then let's grab one more right over here, the little cat. So tap on that. So go back into my regular home wallpaper. Tap on View All. And as you can see, that's the one wallpaper. You can preview them before you actually apply in the background. Tap on this one. That's another one right there. Pretty fantastic, all right? Looks gorgeous. If you're into this kind of stuff, there you go, another one, okay? And the Samsung Galaxy S10 is such a powerful device. There's going to be no lag or stutter on your smartphone because of these wallpapers, all right? So basically, Samsung has given you a powerful tool on your Galaxy S10 to hide photos, videos, messages, documents, or basically any other file type that you want to hide inside a secret and secure environment so nobody can see what you're hiding. And of course, this entire secret vault is fully protected by a unique PIN or a password of your choosing. So let's dive in and discover how to hide files. Alright, so the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually set up the secure folder for the first time so you guys can follow along with me. So let's go to the settings really quickly. And then the first thing you want to do is you want to go to Biometrics and Security. Scroll down a little bit and you'll see the secure folder. It says keep your personal files and apps safe and secure. So let's tap on that. And it says welcome to secure folder, protect your data and make secure copies of your apps. Now let's click continue really quickly. And then it's going to ask me to put in my Samsung account password, which is perfectly fine. Let's do that right now. And then let's click OK. All right, so it's creating our secure folder for the first time. And let's just wait for the process to complete. If you do this for the first time, it takes a couple minutes here to get this up and running. It is creating a secure environment. Now this is very important. You want to pick a PIN number for your secure folder. When you pick up this PIN number, it doesn't have to be the same PIN number you use to unlock your smartphone. It can be another PIN number that is exclusive to the actual secure folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a PIN number over here. And then I'm also going to activate my fingerprints to access the secure folder. So secure folder can be accessed with a PIN, password, pattern, or your fingerprints. All right, so let's click next over here. Let's pick a brand new PIN number. I'm just going to keep something simple here for demonstration. And that's it. That is, in fact, our secure folder. Now, when I go into the settings of the secure folder really quickly, there's something you just have to do immediately. So go to the settings and then tap on Auto Lock Secure Folder and make sure this is set to immediately. So that means the moment you exit the secure folder, it gets locked out so nobody else can enter it unless they put a PIN number or authenticate your fingerprints. So let's go back out. This is the secure folder. If I exit it and if I try to go back into it, and of course now after you activate this secure folder, it is going to be in your app drawer. So if I go to Samsung folder, you'll see the secure folder. If you can't find it, just search for it right there, okay? And you're going to find it. So that's the secure folder. It's all good to go. So if I tap it this time, it's going to ask me to put my fingerprint or my PIN number. So let's just do that and we're inside. Now what I'm going to show you guys is I'm going to show you guys how to move photos, notes, and other private files into your secure folder. So let's go to gallery real quick over here. I've got a couple pictures here. Let's say that I want to hide this picture here because it is a private photo. All you do is go into your gallery, tap that button, and simply tap on Move to Secure Folder. And when you put your PIN number in, all right, it is going to move that item to your secure folder. And if I go back to that gallery album, it's not in here. But if I go into my secure folder right over here, and again, it's going to ask me to put the PIN number or the fingerprint. Let's click OK. If I go into my gallery, boom, it's going to be right here. Let's just click Allow on this one. So that's the one that I've secured. Now, when I'm done with this photo and I want to unsecure it, let's say it's not private anymore, you just want to get rid of it, you want to put it back in public space, you tap on this button and you say Move Out of Secure Folder. You tap that, and it's gone. All right, so you can move photos, images, and files in and out of secure folder. Now when I go back into my gallery over here, right here, oh, that's the secure folder gallery. So as you can see, even the secure folder gallery is not visible when you tap the recent app buttons. But the regular gallery here that's in the public space is in fact visible. So if I go back here, that photo is right there. Now if I wanted to move a bunch of pictures together, I can do that as well. I can just press and hold, tap on 4 of them, tap on this, and say move to secure folder, put my PIN number in every single time it asks me to do that, because not anybody can just add photos to your secure folder. Now when I go back into the secure folder gallery right here, okay, and I put my fingerprint, those photos are right there. This is fantastic. Now secure folder is much more than this. If I were to go over here, let me just bring up my notes application. So here's the notes application. I've got 2 notes right over here. And here's a regular note and here's a secure note. Now, if I wanted to create a secure note in the private folder, in my secure folder, what I would have to do is I would have to go into the secure folder. So tap on secure folder, put my authentication in there, and launch Samsung Notes. And from here, I would create a brand new note. Real passwords. All right, so when I click save on this one, it is now saved within my secure folder because I accessed Samsung Notes via my secure folder. So when I exit, go back into the regular notes right over here, Samsung Notes, this is the regular notes. You see the 2 old files in here. You do not see the one that I just securely created. So to securely create a note, you go into your secure folder, put your passcode in, and then go into Samsung Notes, and then you can create files in here that remain in here hidden behind your PIN number or your fingerprints. So that's absolutely fantastic. And of course, the funny thing is, every single time you launch your secure folder and you perform actions inside it, everything that you do in the secure folder remains inside it. So if I go to the camera right now, and if I take a photo, okay, this photo that I just took from the camera that was in the secure folder, let me go back out, is in fact saved into the gallery that's also in the secure folder right here. That was a black photo because the camera is facing down, but you get the idea. Everything you do in the secure folder stays in the secure folder. If I go to the contacts and add a brand new contact here, it is going to only be available via this app when you launch secure folder. If I go out into the regular camera, regular gallery, if I go to the regular gallery, you do not see that black picture. And that's because that was done securely in the private environment. So it's very essential that you guys grasp that concept. Now, after you grasp the fact that you can move files back and forth, one more thing I'm going to show you just for the sake of people that need full details. If you go to Samsung, if you go to My Files, just an example, and if I go into one of these recent files over here, for example, let's just say this one, I can also perform secure folder operations from My Files. So I can tap this and move it to secure folder. Doesn't have to be an image. It could be a music file. It could be an audio file. It could be a PDF file. Could be an APK installation file. Whatever you want can be moved to the secure folder from this location, from My Files to secure folder. And of course, you can access your SD card if you have one, or you can use your internal storage to move files back and forth. All right, so let me show you a couple more things with a secure folder, which is very important. So if I go back in here, tap on secure folder, put my fingerprints in there, there's a bunch of things you can do with your secure folder. You can customize the icon, okay? So I recommend you do this and make this look like something regular so people don't even suspect that you have something that you're hiding. So what you can do, oops, we just got rid of that by mistake. Let me put this in. So what I can do is I can go to customize icon, pick something like, you know, like this, S, and this, rename this to banking, all right? So when I rename this to S or B, banking, it is natural for people to assume that this is just banking information that naturally they do not have access to, so they're not going to suspect that you're hiding nasty photos in there. So if you go back out here, now if I go into the Samsung, it'll say B banking, does not even say secure folder. So that's one thing you can do. All right, and then what else you can do is you can in fact go to the settings and you can do all these nice things. You can show or even hide the secure folder. I recommend showing it but just renaming it because if you hide it, then you have to go back into settings and re-enable it every single time. You're not going to lose your files, but it's going to add some extra steps to access your secure folder. And then again, we talked about this, and you can change the lock type over here anytime that you want. So let's put the secure folder pin number. You can make all these modifications. And then here's one thing that's extra. This is a dedicated fingerprint. So you can make sure that you only set one single finger on your hands to unlock the secure folder. So if you don't want to use your regular fingers, you can just maybe use your pinky finger right here, and that is going to be essential and required to unlock your secure folder. So that's a great little trick right there, okay? So if you enable this, it's going to ask you to rescan a brand new finger just to unlock the secure folder. That's some good thinking from Samsung. And of course, with the secure folder, let's say that you do have a secure folder application that is trying to send you notifications. By default, they're all hidden. So when you do get notified from an app that is in your secure folder, you do not get notifications. But if you want to enable that, you can, which kind of defeats the purpose, but you do have that option, all right? So that's fantastic. So that is secure folder. And one more thing, when you're in the interface here, let me just change this back to the regular stuff over here. Click apply. And then you can add apps from here, so you can add additional apps into your secure folder, and that's going to create another copy of the actual application in your secure environment. So whatever you do on your app in the secure folder is not going to reflect on the outside. So as you can see, I can have Instagram in there, I can have my banking applications, I can have my WhatsApp application, and I can have my YouTube application. So everything that I do on those apps inside the folder here remains secret. Nobody has access to the history of what I watched on YouTube and stuff like that. And of course, I can just tap on here and add files using any one of these options. Images, videos, audio, documents, my files. Secure folder definitely is a brilliant little feature to hide photos, videos, files, whatever you want, and even create duplicates of certain apps that you can have, that you can do private things on, all right? And that brings us to the end of Now, the very first thing I want you to do is go to the settings, and I'm assuming a lot of you guys are going to be installing some kind of screen protector on your devices. And as you know, most of the Samsung Galaxy S10s come with pre-installed screen protector. So when I pulled my S10 out from my retail box, it already had a pre-installed screen protector on top of it. So if you have that, or if you're going to install a screen protector, make sure you go to display and then scroll down and enable the touch sensitivity. So basically it says it right here, this is going to increase the touch sensitivity of the screen for use with screen protectors, so your fingers are better recognized as you interact with your phone. Alright, the next setting you need to enable is a very crucial security setting that a lot of people simply forget about, simply don't even think about. So what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to go to the settings and then go into lock screen over here, and then go into secure lock settings. You tap on it, and then it's going to ask you to put your regular PIN number in. So let's do that right now. And then once you do that, on the top there's two options you need to enable immediately, and that one is lock automatically and lock instantly with power key. Now lock automatically, if you tap on it, by default is at 5 or 15 seconds, all right? And that shouldn't be the case. It should be at immediately. So if it was at 15 seconds, just to give you an example, and if the screen turns off, the phone doesn't actually lock for 15 seconds. So you want to make sure it locks immediately as soon as the screen timeouts and turns off. And the other thing is, when you press your power button, again, the screen doesn't lock right away. It actually is active for a couple seconds. So take a look at this. So right now I have a PIN number, I have fingerprints enabled, but when I turn off my phone, right now it's supposed to be locked. Let's say I walk away, somebody came right in, double tap my phone, goes right inside. The phone is not locked. They've got full access to my smartphone, and that's not good. So you want to make sure that you enable this option here, lock instantly with power key. Now when I lock my phone, and if I double tap it, it's going to go into the actual lock screen like it's supposed to, and then I can use my fingerprint to log right in. So make sure these two are properly enabled. This has to be immediately, and this has to be on. All right, let's move on. Now, if you're outside and if you actually lose your phone, it's gone. Okay, you just lost $1,000. So what you want to make sure is you enable the Find My Mobile feature. So you do want to go to the biometrics and security, and then you want to scroll down to Find My Mobile, tap on it, and make sure this is enabled. You do have to have a Samsung account that is linked to this option, and then you want to enable remote controls and Google location services. So let's say I went out there and I lost this phone. I came back home and boom, I'm in shock. It's gone. So what I can do is I can go to this website, findmymobile.samsung.com, log in with my Samsung account, and then remotely control and locate the exact location of the smartphone. Now, it is very possible somebody stole the phone and they turn it off. So what you want to do is you want to actually send the last location before the phone gets turned off. So if somebody did grab your phone and they turn it off, right before they turn it off, the phone is going to send the last known location to the Find My Mobile website over here. And you do have this option here as well. I don't recommend doing this, but you can do it. This is the remote unlock feature. If you enable this, your PIN and your password will be stored on Samsung servers, but then you can use those to remotely unlock your smartphone and even control the phone when it's out there and you do not know where it's at. I don't think it's a very necessary feature, but again, it is an option there. It's a reason it's an option. You can enable it if you are comfortable, but I think this, and this is going to fully protect you in case you lose your smartphone. Nobody wants to lose their smartphones. So make sure this option is enabled, all right? And as you can see, I've logged into findmymobile.samsung.com and I'm able to actually access a control panel that gives me all this crazy functionality. I can ring my phone, lock my phone, track the location, erase the data, backup, and so much more. So you want to go to your PC or your Mac and just log into findmymobile.samsung.com, and this is what you get to track your phone. Now, the other couple things I want to talk about has to do with optimizing your smartphone so it runs at maximum performance at all times. So what you want to do is you want to scroll down and go into Device Care, tap on it, and then in Device Care, as you can see in the middle here, you have the Optimize button. I just performed an optimization on my phone by tapping the button here, so right now it's at excellent condition. Now, this is something you can do manually, or you can actually do this automatically. So what you want to do is you want to tap on the buttons over here and then go into auto optimization. You tap on that and basically you just enable this and make sure that you pick a time when you're asleep, so this task runs automatically in the background while you're asleep, so when you wake up your phone is fully optimized and ready to go for the day. And of course, that's the first thing you should do. The next thing you should do is, again, tap on this button and go into the auto restart. So it is essential to restart Android smartphones at least once a week, again, for optimum performance. Now, this option here automates that process. So you enable this and you can actually pick 7 days of the week. So you can restart your phone every single day at least once. I recommend picking up 2 days, such as Monday and Thursday. Okay, so Monday and Thursday are active, and then just pick a time again when you're asleep or when you think it's comfortable for you to have your phone restart. You do not want to be in the middle of a phone conversation when this happens. So I picked 3 a.m. and I clicked done. So every Monday and Thursday at 3 a.m. the phone is going to auto restart, again guaranteeing optimum performance. All right, so make sure you enable those two options. Now, one more quick thing I want to show you guys is when you tap on the recents button at the bottom here, you see 4 apps that you probably use all the time. So these are recently used apps or most used apps that show at the bottom for your convenience. So every time you tap this, boom, these apps, and I know that I use them all the time, so they're showing up right here. You can disable this if you don't want to see them, all right? Because you got your apps right here. So when you tap this, maybe you do not want to see the apps or accidentally tap on them. So go to the settings right here and then go into suggested apps, just disable that. Now when I go back out, those apps are disappeared, and even the cards are now centered on the screen. So look at that. Boom, all right? Just one setting to get rid of if you don't need it. Another very important setting has to do with your password. So if I go to any website over here, let's just say Hulu, and I go to login and I type in my password. Every time I type in my password, you can see the letters show up in that password box right there. So if I type in F, you'll see that F. If I type in G, you'll see that G, okay? So if somebody's looking at the password field, they can see exactly what you're typing and might even memorize the password that you have. It's a little bit harder to look at the keyboard because your fingers are on it, but that box here is fully exposed. So when you're typing, as you can see, you're seeing all the little letters here. Somebody might get a clue as to what your password might be. So you can disable that option. Just go to the settings right here. Scroll down to biometrics and security. Go all the way down. Tap on other security settings and make sure make passwords visible is disabled. All right. Now when I go back out there to that website, let me just erase this password and type. It's not going to give any previews. It's also not giving the previews on the keyboard. Normally when you press the keyboard, it shows the bigger letter on the top, but now you're much more safer. All right, so that's security option that needs to be enabled. The next thing I want to talk about has to do with battery management. So what you want to do is you want to go to the battery, all right? And then when you're in the battery, tap on those buttons again and go into the settings and make sure adaptive battery is in fact enabled. So this basically limits the battery usage for apps that you do not use often. Many times those apps run in the background and they just waste battery. With this one, you're saving even a little bit more battery life, so your phone runs for longer with a single charge. And of course, this is very important here. This happens all the time. Make sure this one is enabled. So any unused apps that are just sitting in the background, it is going to put them to sleep again, so they don't eat your battery life. All right, if you tap on this one here, you get some more details about what it exactly does, and you can also tweak the sleep delay. So should the app go to sleep after one day of just not being used and stuff like that. All right, so I'm going to keep it on 1 day. And one more thing while you're here, enable or disable based on your needs. So this one is the settings, power optimization, optimize settings. If we tap on this one, it's going to go to the details. And if you enable this, basically what's going to happen is these settings that you enable right here, these 3 settings are going to be automatically applied at midnight when most people are not using their smartphones because they do have to go to work the next day. So this one here is going to be, the brightness will be limited to 49%, no more. And of course the screen timeout is going to be limited to 30 seconds. And again, if you don't use your screen for 30 seconds, it just shuts off, and that's the quickest you can do, and that is going to save you a lot of battery life. And of course the media volume is going to be limited to 46%. So these are little things, but if you add them up together, they'll maybe save you 2 to 3% of extra battery life just in case you need it. All right, some people don't need it, some people don't care. Again, it's an option you can enable or disable. I don't care about this option. I'm going to just disable it, but it is there if you want to use it. So let's dive in and get started. So let's go to the settings really quick. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So if I go to the settings and if you scroll down a little bit, there's a section here that says advanced features. And when you go inside, there's a bunch of features in here that you need to know. And of course, underneath the advanced features, there's also one more menu known as motions and gestures that has even more advanced features. So let's go and explore the entire menu. Now, the very first thing I do want to talk about, I'm going to skip the BIXBY stuff over here for now, but I will come back to it towards the end of the video. We are going to go over everything, but I do want to scroll down and go to motions and gestures and just kill this menu and then come right back to the outer menu. So over here, we have an option known as lift to wake. Make sure this is in fact enabled. Basically, this is going to allow you to, if the screen on your phone is off and you lift your smartphone, it is going to turn on the screen when you pick it up. So make sure this option here is in fact enabled. So let me quickly demonstrate the lift to wake feature. The phone is sitting flat on the table and all I'm going to do is lift it and it's going to lift to wake as you just saw. Okay, so if you enable that option, this is the cool thing that you get. So it's on the table, lift to wake. Fantastic. Now this one here, double tap to wake up, is also another option you should enable. So if I have the phone locked, and if I double tap the phone, that's going to wake up the phone. Okay, so if you want that option enabled, make sure double tap to wake is enabled as well. Now smart stay here, I usually disable this, but it's something, if it is something that you need, you can enable this as well. And if I go back inside, it actually tells you exactly what it is. So basically smart stay keeps the screen on while you're looking at it by using the front camera to detect your face. So as long as you're staring at your phone, maybe reading an article or look, it is going to detect that and it's going to make sure that screen remains open. All right, now it's something I don't use, so I'm just going to go right back and disable it. And then we have the smart alert. So let's click over here. It's going to go inside. This is a great option. Basically, if your phone, let's say you put your phone on the table and you went outside to do something in the garden and you had a couple calls, maybe a couple messages. When you come back and when you touch your phone and lift it up, it is going to vibrate, letting you know that there are notifications waiting for you to glance at. So that's known as a smart alert, the vibrational feedback that you get when you lift up the phone. Now, if you go over here, this is one of my favorite features. So this is the easy mute feature. So basically, if somebody is calling you or if an alarm is running, there's a couple things you can do to mute the phone without even touching the phone or by flipping the phone over. So let's say somebody did call me and the phone is ringing. All I have to do is go like this and it's going to mute the phone. All right, you can try that right away if you want. And the other option with the easy mute is if you just grab the phone, let's say the phone is ringing and just flip it over and put it down like this, it is going to mute the phone as well. So that's absolutely fantastic. Now let's go back out here and then we have the one-handed mode. Now this is a true one-handed mode. If you enable this option and if you tap over here and go inside, you can either activate this with a gesture or with a button. I like to use the button, the home button. So if you tap the home button 3 times, it is going to activate the one-handed mode, which allows you to use your phone with one hand, no problem. You can use the entire phone with just your thumb. And you can also left justify or right justify this as you please, depending on what hand you're holding with, the phone with. And if you tap in the black area here, it just goes back in business to being full screen. Again, triple tap to activate this. Oops, 1, 2, 3. And then when you're done, you tap right here, it goes back in business. This is a great mode for people that want to use the entire phone with one hand. All right, let's go back here to the settings over here. Now let's go back here and then we have the palm swipe to capture. So you can take a screenshot of your smartphone by simply swiping your palm across the screen like that. Now you do have to touch the actual screen for this to take effect. If you just do it like this, it's not going to work. So if I just swipe it, let me just do that right now. As you can see, it just took a photo. All right. So make sure that's enabled if that is something that you're looking to do as well. And then finally, you have the swipe to call or send messages option right here. If you click on this, so what you can do with this one is if you are in your phone application over here, what you can do is you can swipe on any one of these numbers to actually make a call. If you swipe to the right, it's going to call the person. If you swipe to the left, it is going to send a message. All right. So that's an option you want to enable from here if you want that to work. It is going to work in the phone application under recents and contacts as you please. All right. So swipe to call or send messages. Now let's go back out and talk about these tactics over here. Now one thing I'm going to get out of the way is the video enhancer feature. So make sure this is enabled. Basically, as long as the video enhancer is enabled, it is going to enhance any image quality of your videos on any video playing app, and you're going to get brighter and more vivid colors. So basically, if you disable this, that's what you get. If you enable this, as you can see, the photo became more vivid. And again, this is for video only, not for photos, but for videos. Now let's go back up over here and let's talk about the accessories. Now, if you tap on the accessories, you get a breakdown. Anytime you connect any wired or wireless accessories to your smartphone, if they have any specific options, they're going to pop right here. Right now, we only have the fast wireless charging option, which can be enabled or disabled. There's no need to disable this. Always keep this enabled to get the maximum speed. So let's go back again. If you connect any accessories, and if there's more options, they'll show up right here. Then we have the BIXBY key customization. So if you tap on this one, you can actually customize the BIXBY key to launch applications when you do a single press, and then when you do a double press, it's going to launch BIXBY. If you go over here, single press is going to actually launch BIXBY, and double press is going to launch the calculator, as you can see. But I can always go inside and customize which application I want, the double tap or the single tap to actually launch. So that's the BIXBY key customization option. If you don't like BIXBY, or if you just want to make sure that when you press this, it just launches an application, you can come here, choose this option, tap on this one, and pick the app that you want to activate when you just tap this once. But if you tap it twice, it is going to launch BIXBY. And if you press and hold, is going to launch Bixby Voice to give commands to. All right, so let's quickly talk about the send SOS messages here. So if you go in here and if you enable this, you get to activate a really powerful feature. So you have to pick a contact from here and then enable attach pictures and attach audio recording. Now, if you were in an emergency situation, what you could do is you can triple tap the power button really quickly. And what that's going to do is send a message to this person that you picked up and also attach pictures from the front camera, the back camera, and also record an audio attachment to it as well. So if you are in danger, this is the perfect option to have. You just do a triple press on this one and boom, that person gets a message, and then from there that person can take the potential actions necessary to save you. Again, this is an emergency option that you want to enable just for safety and protection. Beyond that, it has no use. And of course, we have the game launcher over here. So if you enable the game launcher, it is going to actually create a brand new game launcher folder that when you go inside it, is going to organize all your games in one place. And of course, you have other things here that you can do as well. If you so desire, you have these settings here, go inside, make all kinds of modifications. If you're a gamer, you're gonna find about this, all right? And then when you launch a game, you do get a little icon at the bottom here and here that gives you additional options. All right, so if I pull this up again and if I tap on this one, I can take a screenshot, I can record a video of the actual game, I can screen touch lock, I can do navigation button lock, and all these various options. What I want you guys to do, if you're a gamer, just enable the game mode, launch a game, and just play with these settings, and you'll get to know them very quickly. But this is the game launcher that gets activated when you allow for this option. And like I said, when you're playing the actual game, you have all these options at the bottom here available to you. You can even enable or disable Dolby Atmos surround sound for gaming right from here. Absolutely fantastic if you're a gamer. And finally, let's talk about the BIXBY routine. So BIXBY routines are quite powerful. Basically, you can set certain things to happen on your phone automatically when a certain time is reached. So when you go inside, you have a bunch of recommended routines. You can go in, customize them, and then save them into My Routines over here. So just as an example, I'm going to do the good morning. So tap on this one, and then the first thing you want to do is pick a time. So if time is equal to, just an example, tap on this. Let's just say 5:30, and I know that's not the morning, so let's just do AM. Then click next, take these actions. So I can erase actions and I can add actions. So let me just, as an example, pick this, Bluetooth on, Wi-Fi on, and also data off, okay? And then I click done, and that's my routine. If I tap on it, we have a dashboard here telling me what's happening with that routine. That's what you're gonna see in the morning when the time hits 5:30 a.m. Again, you go back here, you pick whatever you want, you pick a place or a time. So if that time is reached, or if I'm at that place, then do these things. And again, tap to customize. Okay, tap to customize, plus to add more routines, minus to remove, button to remove routines. So just play with this a little bit. It's actually quite a powerful feature. Everything's going to start happening automatically when you reach work or when a certain time gets reached. And then you have all these other possible combinations and features. Quite an advanced feature. Take your time with this one. All right, so the very first thing I want to talk about is the actual edge handle. So edge handle resides on the side over here, and it allows you to pull in the edge panels. Now what you want to do is you can do two things. You can either go to the settings directly from here, which is fine, but what I want you to do is I want you guys to go to the settings from here and then go into display and then scroll down over to edge screen, tap on it, and then from here I want you guys to go into the edge panels. And by the way, I'm going to be talking about the edge lighting as well, but first we're going to cover the edge panels. So let's tap on this one over here and then tap on the three dots over here and go into the edge panel handle. So basically this is going to allow you to put this handle to somewhere specific that is convenient for you. So as you can see right now, I can move it up and down. So I can change the color also. I can make it orange, red, blue, yellow, whatever I want. So let's just keep it red right now so you can see it easier. And then I can put this anywhere I want on the top or bottom. And on top of that, I can increase or decrease the size as you can see. So I'm going to keep the size to the maximum just for easy visibility. And then the other thing you can do is you can tap this and put it to the right if you want. So in this scenario, if I go back home, the edge handle is going to be right here. Okay, so again, you can have it either way that you want. So let's go back into the settings over here. And then you can also change the transparency to low, or you can change it to high. If you do want this to be invisible, you can do that as well. You just have to remember where the panel is. All right, so I'm going to just keep it to the lowest transparency, again, for easy visibility. And one more thing, you do have this button here that you can tap and pick any color from the actual color wheel. All right, and you do have the option over here to tap on the phone color, which is going to give it the exact color that your phone uses, at least something close to it. So my phone is white, so it's going to use the whitish color on the edge panel as well, just so it blends overall with the phone. Anyway, let's go back to red for a minute. And then you can also have this option here enabled. This is move from any screen. So if I were home and if I had that option enabled, I can just press and hold the edge panel and move it myself anywhere that I desire. So I'm going to keep it right over here for the purpose of this video. So the edge panel handle is right here. Okay, so that's number one. Now let's go back inside to the main menu over here. And again, when you go into the edge panels, as you can see, you have a bunch of panels over here. And I quickly want to let you know that you can have up to, now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and you can only have maximum of 10 panels on the edge panel right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You cannot have more than 10 edge panels. Anyway, let me disable some of these guys. Let's go over here, disable. Let's keep that one, calculator. Okay, so those are the ones that I want. So that's that. And of course, I'm going to show you more of the things you can do here, but quickly I'm going to show you one thing. With the edge panels, when you pull this inside, you can always tap this button at the bottom, which gives you quick access to all your edge panels. And again, this is the Samsung One UI, so everything is moving down towards you, so they're easily accessible with one finger. Okay, so that's an option you have. You can either swipe through the edge panels or just tap this button and quickly access the one that you want, such as a calculator panel. Anyway, let's go back into settings over here. And now what I want to show you guys is this one here is called the Apps Edge. Okay, so this one, if there's any panel that is customizable, at the bottom of that panel you'll see that edit icon. When you click the edit icon, it's going to allow you to make changes to your edge panel. So this is my panel that I see on my edge panels, and these are the apps I can put over here. So if I'm going to remove apps, I can just remove apps just like that. I can also remove folders if I wanted to, or add folders if I wanted to. But if I wanted to put some apps over here, I can just pick them from here. So Amazon, the camera app, the clock app, the Citizens Bank application, and then let's say Dropbox. So these are the apps I want on my edge panels, and they are, again, like I said, fully customizable. Now when I go back over here, and if I tap this button, and if I go to my Apps Edge, you'll see all those options reflecting on my Apps Edge. Again, I can edit them by going to this settings over here, or I can click edit right at the bottom here. Takes me right back into that same place. All right, so perfect customization over here. Now let's go back here, and I do want to show you that you can also add even more panels over here. So what you want to do is tap on the three dots and tap on Galaxy Store, and that's going to allow me to go to the Galaxy Store and download and install any edge panel that I want. And there's so many options over here. All right, so you got top paid. These are the paid options right over here. As you can see, so many of them. And then if you tap on top free, you get access to the free ones right here. You get the edge board over here. Let's download that real quick. Let's say what else? The voice recorder. Download that as well. All right, so install. And once you install them, and when you go back here, let's go back to the edge panel settings, you'll see them pop up right here, and you can enable them right from here. So if I enable this, this allows me to actually edit it as well, so I can modify that edge board. So that's the edge board. I can click edit, and I can start modifying my edge board. So I can have all these apps on the board as well. Now let's click done. Let me go home. Let me show you what's going on. So tap this one, go to Edge board, and again, I have a bunch of shortcuts right here. And that's the Edge board. Now let's go back to the settings over here. I'm going to show you one more thing. Let's say that there's something here that you don't want anymore. All you do is you tap on this one and you click uninstall, and then you can in fact uninstall any board that you don't want. So I can uninstall the Edge board just like that, and it's going to be gone. All right. And of course, another very important thing is you can change the order of all your panels based on the importance that you want to assign it. So right now we have the apps edge, then we have the weather, then we have the quick tools. What you can do is you can go to the settings, you can tap on this button here and tap on reorder, and then from here you can reorder your panels as you desire. Once you're done, you go back home over here. Let me go back, go home, edge panel handle, and as you can see we have the new positioning that I just created for myself. All right, boom, fantastic. All right, so those are the edge panels and how to customize them and reorder them and uninstall them, and of course get new handles. Now I do want you guys to grab this one over here. The soft key edge is a fantastic tool. The best thing here is we have a soft key function here that allows you to lock your phone without having to press the power button. All right, so that's something you want to go to the store, to the settings, go to the store here, and just search for soft key edge, install, activate, and you're good to go. And that's the edge panels. Now let's go back and talk about the edge lighting. So edge lighting is extremely useful. Anytime somebody calls you, sends you a text message, or he gets any kind of notification, you will get a gorgeous lighting effect around the display. So let me show you what that effect looks like. Of course, you do want to make sure that this is enabled, and you want to go here and make sure this is enabled as well, always. And then you want to go to the edge lighting style, and basically when you get a text message, you'll get this light around the display and this notification icon as well. Again, these are customizable as well. So I can tap on effect. I have all these different effects. You got the bubble effect, as you can see. You got the multicolor effect. You get multicolor edge lighting. You get the glow lighting effect, which is fantastic as well. Let's just go back. You can also have the glitter effect, but let's just keep this one here. And you can go to the color and pick any color that you want. So you can pick any yellow, blue, green, or using the color wheel, pick any color that you desire. Okay. Now you can also go over here and change the transparency of the lighting. So it can be low transparency or high transparency. You can change the size of it. It can be very thick if you want, or very narrow. And also you can change the duration. Now one thing that a lot of people haven't noticed is you have a custom color option. So if I tap on this one, I can create a custom color for a custom app. For example, for message application, I can use the red color, and for WhatsApp messages, I can use green color. Okay, so you can customize colors per app if you want. Now, one more thing, let's click done over here. You do want to go down here as well, tap on manage notifications, and make sure you enable all the apps that you want the edge lighting effect to apply to. So right now, my phone is right here. If somebody calls me, it's not going to work because I haven't enabled it, all right? So those things, you should just work with it. So if I do get notifications from Best Buy, I can enable the edge lighting to be applied to that or not. But right now, I have messages, WhatsApp. I can always go all of them at the same time or disable them, all right? Now, when we go back, we have one final thing. So that's the edge lighting interaction. You tap on this one. This allows you to control the pop-ups. So basically, when you come here and you get a text message, I'm going to do a demonstration in a second. But when you do get a text message, this thing is going to pop up right here. Okay, this thing is going to pop up right here. And what you can do is you can actually interact with this if you want. So you have 3 ways to interact with that. You can tap on it. It's going to expand the notification. You can swipe it down. It's going to give you a pop-up notification. And then, of course, you can swipe it away to dismiss it. And let me do a quick demo on that as well. Now, let me give you a quick demonstration. So I'm going to send myself a message. So let's just say hi to myself. And as you can see, you see an edge lighting and also a little pop-up. You can tap on this. It's going to expand that pop-up and go right into the app. Or what I can do is I can send myself another message. And what I can do, I can swipe down on this notification, and that's going to activate the pop-up window right here. And finally, if I send myself one more message, when that thing pops up, I can just dismiss it by swiping it to the side. All right. All right, so that brings us to the end of the edge lighting tutorial. These are all the tips, tricks, and features you need to know to fully utilize your edge panels. So in this section, I'm going to show you guys something pretty amazing. So in front of me, as you can see, I have my Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus sitting right here. And then I have a regular PC monitor here connected to it. And as you can see, the entire phone is in fact projected into a desktop-like environment. So this is known as the Samsung DeX functionality. Of course, some of you guys are quickly going to wonder, am I going to be able to play games? Yes, as you can see, I'm playing a game on the Samsung DeX in super high definition using my mouse as the actual controller. And of course, I'm going to be coming back to the games, but for now, let me show you how to set up Samsung DeX to accomplish all this beauty. So basically, to accomplish this functionality, all you need is one little cable. And that's it, then magic happens. So as you can see at the bottom here, I have a USB Type-C cable connected into my Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, and then this cable rolls around and goes into the HDMI in port of my monitor, which is right over here. So as soon as you make the connection happen, the phone is going to prompt you to project itself onto the actual monitor, which is going to give you a desktop-like experience, which I'm going to show you in a minute is completely amazing and gives you all kinds of workspace functionality. Now, one more thing I'm going to show you guys over here on the phone is if you go close to the phone, if I pull down the notifications panel, you'll see some DeX functionality. So you can see use your phone as a touchpad. So if I click on this, the phone actually transforms into a little touchpad, and then you can use the phone to move the mouse around on the actual monitor. But I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a Bluetooth mouse, which you can connect to your phone. And once you connect it to your phone, you can use the mouse to control this desktop-like environment. But anyway, other things you can do over here is you can tap here to switch to screen mirroring. And of course, these options are going to actually show up in your notifications panel as soon as you connect this cable to this end and the remainder of the cable into the HDMI in port of this actual monitor, okay? So if I click on this one right over here, as you can see now, I actually have screen mirroring, okay? So this is an option you have as well, okay? That's great. But if you want to use the Samsung DeX functionality, you want to actually tap here to switch to Samsung DeX. That is going to give you this full Samsung DeX desktop environment. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use this mouse. And again, this mouse has been connected to this phone via Bluetooth. Very simple connection. All you do is you go into your Bluetooth settings right over here. Let me just go into the settings right here. And as you can see, my designer mouse from Microsoft over here is connected to this phone via Bluetooth. And that means I can use that mouse to control this window. So let me show you. Here's the mouse. I'm moving this around. And as you can see, let me just find it right there. There's a little mouse cursor that is moving around, okay? So anyway, let me change the focus onto this monitor here so you guys can see everything that you are capable of doing on this fantastic Samsung DeX setup. But again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a link to this cable down in the description box below so you can go buy it if you want to achieve this functionality. And again, to accomplish Samsung DeX, all you need is your smartphone and a monitor and this cable. The mouse is extra. You can use the screen as a touchpad, as I just showed you a couple minutes ago. But it's nice to have a little $10 or $15 mouse. I'll drop a link to this kind of mouse down below as well. All right, so let's dive in and see all the functionalities of Samsung DeX of your Samsung Galaxy S10 on this monitor. All right, so let's get started with Samsung DeX. So here it is. Quickly, I want to show you something real quick. If you right click on the mouse, you can go into the wallpapers for Samsung DeX, and you can change your wallpapers from here. You can go to the gallery, you can go to default 1, default 2, default 3. Let's just pick this one right over here and click home screen, and that's going to give me a brand new wallpaper. And again, you can go to the gallery and change to any wallpaper that you please. And then other things you can do is you can go to the gallery over here, just launch it and actually go through all your photos. This is your complete photo gallery. You can go to the album, stories, shared, whatever you want to do. You can minimize windows. They'll go down to the bottom over here, as you can see. I can hover over them and preview those windows. Now you can click on mail, and that's my mail. I can actually connect a keyboard using Bluetooth as well and start to type emails over here if I wanted to. I can maximize this if I want to read the entire thing. And as you can see, you get the full view. They can X out to close that window. I can, of course, go to YouTube. And then as you can see, here's the window. You can maximize this window by double tapping over here and then play this video, no problem. And if you want to play full screen, which a lot of people are going to be wondering, you can click over here, right here, and that's going to play the video full screen, which is absolutely fantastic. Something a lot of people are going to be wondering about. So let's pause this for a second. Let's go to the top here. Let's make this a little bit smaller. Again, I can resize all these windows as if it was a Windows computer. I can move them around. I can have multiple windows running in the background, as you can see. So I have 1, 2, 3 windows running at the background. I can just minimize all of them. They'll get docked to the bottom row over here, as you can see. Now over here, we have our app drawer. So from here, I can access all my Android apps. And also I can go to my apps for Samsung DeX. When I click this, it gives me a list of apps to download, such as Handcom Office, Microsoft Word, that are fully optimized to work with Samsung DeX, no problem. But that does not mean that none of these apps don't work. So if I just launch the clock application, it's just going to work no problem. Okay, so that's the bottom here. You have the recent apps. You got the recent apps that are running over here. So that's your multitasking window. As you can see, recents right over here. This is your home button, so it goes back to home. This is your back button. So if you were in the settings, if I were in Samsung DeX settings, I can click on back and they'll take me back one screen. So let me just put this down. I'm going to come back to the settings in a minute. Over here, we have our notifications panel, our quick toggles. So here, row here is my quick toggles, just like it was on my phone when I pulled down my notifications panel. Now they're docked at the bottom here. I can tap on battery. That brings up my battery manager. All right. This is just great. And over here, I have my notifications, as you can see. So these are the same notifications you would see on your Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus when you pull down the notifications panel. And then over here, we have the date. All right. When I click on it, it launches the calendar. I have the search functionality. All right. And I do have the, if I click on this one, it's the screenshot functionality. And I do want to let you know, when I go into the search functionality, as you can see here, I can type something. Now I can use my phone to type on this. The keyboard actually is available on the phone right now anytime I go into an area that requires typing. But like I said, you can also connect a Bluetooth keyboard and make this happen as well. All right. So if I go to the, let's just go to the internet for a second. And if I were to go over here, again, the keyboard has popped up right now on the actual smartphone, but you can always connect your Bluetooth keyboard here and start typing right over here. But right now, I'm just going to use my phone to type. So let me just tap ebay.com, and it's going to go to that website, and I can browse this as if it was a regular desktop PC. Okay, so that's all fantastic. You've got your time, date, your quick toggles, your control panel. Everything is right over here at the bottom. You can minimize it or expand it if you want to. And then here we have our app previews. These are the running apps that I've minimized, all right? You can also access my files and just browse through your entire smartphone. You can go through the images, you can go through the videos that you have, you can go through the audio files that you have. Everything is available right here in your File Explorer on the top over here. Now, if I go to the settings over here, we do have a bunch of Samsung DeX settings right over here. So if I click on it, you'll see we have the screen timeout for connected displays is set to 5 minutes. So for 5 minutes, it's going to be on, but after 5 minutes, it's just going to turn off. And then you have wallpapers. You have the screen resolution for Samsung DeX. You can do full high definition plus, which is 1080p, which is what this monitor is. But if you have a higher monitor, if you have a 2560 by 1440 monitor, you can go as high as that if you want. And here are all the other options that are possible. You can even go almost 4K over here if you have that kind of monitor enabled. This monitor is 1080p. Okay, so let's just click down over here. You have the keyboard settings, so I can on-screen keyboard can be phone or the monitor. So now I can click on this button and the keyboard is going to come right here. This is the on-screen keyboard, or you can use a Bluetooth keyboard. Go back, go to mouse and trackpad. Now, as you can see, I'm using my current mouse. This is it. This is not the trackpad on the phone, but an actual mouse I'm using. I can modify the settings over here. So it's just like a real big computer. And of course, a lot of people are wondering if I go over here and launch, let's just launch a Word document. So let's click on Word over here. That's the Hancom Office. And again, I can maximize this. Let me see how to open a brand new file. Here, I can click on New and I can start typing as if I was typing on a Word document, all right? Hi. And I can make all these modifications. I can bold this, I can make the color different, I can underscore. This is just fantastic, okay? It's a fully functional word processing device right now. And of course, you can go back over here and you can actually use Microsoft Word as well that I have not set up so far. Let's click Allow, see what happens. And there we have a blank document. We do have to sign in to actually use this, but it can be used full screen, no problem, as you can see. So that's basically it. I think you get the full idea of what's going on over here. These are all your apps. You can modify your desktop. You can put apps in different locations. You've got this bottom bar, your control panel and everything, your recent apps. And remember, very important, download the apps for Samsung DeX right from here. Now, if I go over here, if I click apps for Samsung DeX, there is one game here, a couple games, Brutal Street 2 and Brutal Street 1, that you can probably play. But I bet you if you play any other game on Samsung DeX, it's going to play, but you're going to have to buy a Bluetooth controller to control them. So if I were to go over here, let me just launch one game. Let's launch this game right here. So this game is going to be playing, no problem. Let's wait for it to load. And there it is, okay? I can even click on stuff. I can click on play and everything. I can actually maximize this, restart the app to maximize it. So I can actually play full screen games here, but you're gonna have to buy some kind of controller to actually get this done. Let's just click X, click play, click over here, click next, and then click on this one, and then click play. Okay, that was a long process, but we're actually starting the game. So let's see how the game looks on this 1080p screen. Probably it's gonna look amazing. Okay, so that's the game. That's the actual game. That's absolutely fantastic, all right? Take a look at this. I can press these buttons with my actual mouse. That's amazing. Wow. All right. So I can actually play this game, no problem. Let's get some boost over here. Okay, so most games will actually play. And when I want to exit out, just click X and you're good to go. All right? All right, so let's exit the game by clicking on X, and that's it. Now, so let's say you went into the movie theater to watch a movie with your friends. What's the first thing you do when the movie is about to start? You turn off the volume of your smartphone, you turn off notifications, and also you turn off your phone and you put it aside so that you can peacefully watch the movie and also not disturb other people. So let's see how Bixby can help in that situation. Hi Bixby. Movie time.
Okay, sound mode has been set to silent. Got it. I've turned it on. You can go to the Do Not Disturb settings to schedule its time.
So just by giving one command to Bixby, it turned off the volume, it turned on Do Not Disturb, and also it turned off my phone. That's one of the things you can do with Bixby, and in this video I'm going to show you how to get it done among other things. If you're wondering what case I'm using for my Samsung Galaxy S10, see the link in the description box down below. This is an official Samsung case and it's a fantastic case. So check the links below, and now let's move on. So a lot of people do not completely understand how Bixby is put together. Now it does have 4 different components. Now the first one is the Bixby Home component, which is right here. Okay, this is just a bunch of cards and you can just swipe down and they're customizable. I'm going to be talking about that in a second. Then you have Bixby Voice, to which you can actually talk, give commands and get results. And then you have Bixby Routines, which are a bunch of pre-scheduled routines that run based on the time or location that you're at. I'm going to show you that as well. And of course, then you have the Bixby Vision that is in the actual camera on the top here. Now that's something I'm not going to cover, and I'll let you know why, because it is not that interesting. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover Bixby Home, Bixby Voice, and Bixby Routines. But then again, you have that 4th option in the camera that you can play with yourself. under Bixby Vision on the top. All right. So let me go and talk about the Bixby Home, which is the most simple aspect of Bixby. So if you pinch the screen real quick, and if you scroll over, you'll see that the Bixby Home is enabled. You can always disable this if you don't want it. A lot of people don't want it, so it is now gone. But if you want to use it, it's right over here. You enable this and you go right inside it by swiping over. And with Bixby Home, you have a bunch of cards that you can customize. And all you do is tap on this and tap on settings. Not settings, I'm sorry. Tap on that and tap on cards. And then you have these cards that you can enable, disable. You can download new ones if you want to. And you can configure them as you please. So if you want to show the clock app on Bixby Home, you just tap on it and you just enable it, okay? And in this case, it's going to show you your wake up alarms. You can also get summaries of news. This is called briefing. And then if you go down, you have access to email, Facebook, Foursquare, all these things you have to tap on, and you have to just enable the ones that you want to see. So if you go back over here to the home, these are all the cards that I've enabled right now. And basically, just to give you an example, that's the Galaxy Store card, just giving you suggestions on what apps to download. You got the Samsung Pay card. You've got the weather card, and you can move this up. And of course, if there's a card that you like a lot, you can just tap on this button here on the side. You can say pin to top, all right? Now that's going to get pinned to the top, and it's going to say pinned cards. And of course, you can refresh every single card if you so desire, as you just saw. Now let's go back down a little bit more, and just to show you what these are. Here is the Galaxy Themes card. You got the Twitter card right here, but that's it. So a bunch of cards. You just want to customize them by coming to the cards section and play with it. And if you don't like it, you just disable it just like I showed you. You can also go to the settings, and there's not much going on here, okay? So this is the Bixby Home. So where is Bixby Voice? So with Bixby Voice, you can say, "Hi Bixby, what's the weather like today?"
Today, it is mostly cloudy with a high of 62 degrees and a low of 48 degrees.
All right, so that's to get the weather. You can also ask Bixby other things. "Hi Bixby, what's the weather like in New York?"
In New York City, New York, it is fair and 48 degrees right now.
So Bixby can give you weather information and other information that you want. I'm going to show you guys how to get a full list of commands you can actually shout at Bixby. So to access Bixby Voice settings, what you have to do is press and hold the Bixby button right over here, or simply just press it one time, all right? Now, the Bixby button itself is customizable, and I have customized mine, so when I press it once, it actually takes me to Google Home, all right? Which allows me to control my home. But if I double tap it, so that's the Bixby Voice interface. Now, let me quickly make sure that you understand the button customization here. So quickly, if you go to the settings, and if you go over to advanced features, and if you go into Bixby key, from here you can customize the Bixby key. Now by default, it's going to be here at single press to open Bixby, what I just did by double pressing. And this is the second option. You can double press to open Bixby. And then the single press allows you to open another app of your choosing from this area, okay? So just remember that this button here is customizable. So just for the sake of simplicity, I'm gonna keep single press to open Bixby, and then double pressing this button actually opens up the calendar application, which again, I customize myself. If I tap on this one here, okay? But on top of that, so single press is gonna go to Bixby Voice, not Bixby Home, it's gonna go to Bixby Voice. And pressing and holding it is simply going to launch Bixby, just like when I say, "Hi Bixby." So I can say that to bring up Bixby, or I can press and hold to give commands to Bixby. Okay, but now
I didn't
single press is going to go to the Bixby Voice. Now this is going to be a little different than Bixby Home. So when you go to the settings over here, you have different options. You've got notices, tutorials, quick commands, settings, and stuff like that. If you go to the settings, you have Bixby Voice settings. So over here, you have the language and voice style. So if you tap over here, you can change it to Lisa.
"Hi, my name is Bixby. Hi, my name is Bixby."
Julia, or John.
"Hi, my name is Bixby."
And that's if you want a male voice.
Hi.
All right, so that's how you change the Bixby Voice. And then you have other options here, such as the voice wake up command, which is what I set. So when I do say "Hi Bixby," it does launch Bixby, as you just saw. You can disable that if you don't want it. You can just press and hold to access BIXBY as well. And of course, you have the option to use BIXBY while the phone is locked. So what can BIXBY Voice do for you? Very simple. You want to tap over here, you want to tap on tutorials, and you get a full list of everything that BIXBY is capable of. You can tap on this one, and then when you go to what BIXBY can do, you can tap on See All Services, all right? And that's going to give you a full list of everything BIXBY can do for all given and supported apps. So for example, with the camera, I can tap on this, and these are the things I can say to camera, okay? So these are suggested things to say, so it just gives you a short list of the things that are possible, but it gives you an idea on how to get started. But this is the discovery section, that's the management section. And if you go back here, if I go to Google Maps, you can say things like this. So if you say to BIXBY, navigate me to blah, 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 it is going to launch Google Maps and give you directions. So that's very convenient. So all these apps here are part of BIXBY Voice, controllable by BIXBY Voice. Even the settings, when you tap on settings, take a look at that. You can you can turn on Do Not Disturb, you can increase the font size, you can show me the user manual and stuff like that. So I can say something like that. So I can say something like that. If I press and hold the button, the BIXBY button, change the screen timeout to 1 minute.
Done. It's set to 1 minute now.
Okay, so the setting has been configured. I can tap this to see exactly what it was doing. All right, so that setting was confirmed. So that's how you learn how to use BIXBY. If you want to get a little bit more, involved with using this BIXBY, again, tap the button or double tap based on your customization of the button. Go here and then go to settings to make modifications. And then of course go into tutorials over here to see what you can do. And the best part to go is what BIXBY can do. See all services, boom, all right? And then you have option to go to quick commands here. So quick commands basically something as simple as I'm driving. So you can say, hi BIXBY, and then you can say I'm driving. And what that's going to do is that's going to run a bunch of batched commands together based on what you saw. So let's say you're thinking about productivity. So tap on this one, and I am driving. If you say this, the phone is going to turn on Bluetooth, turn off Wi-Fi, and play the commute playlist from your music player. So it's going to do 3 things just by you saying I'm driving. If you want to use this, you tap on plus. Oops, cancel. If you want to use this, you just tap on plus, and it's going to be added to your quick commands. Now it's available to use. And you can always go inside and you can edit it. So you can change I'm driving to something else. You know, I'm driving today. Just an example. Doesn't make any sense, but I just put that there. So now when you say I'm driving today, these 3 things are going to happen. So this is a powerful little option. Let me just take that off real quick. You can always delete all this stuff if you don't want it. But these are recommended quick commands that you can pick from. Okay, again, daily routine, going home, turn on Bluetooth, turn off Wi-Fi, text John that I'm on my way home, get directions to home address. So these are, just by saying one command, it runs a batch of 4 commands, and every single thing is fully customizable. You can even add more commands, all right? And again, you say that after you press and hold the button and talk to BIXBY, all right? And you save it, it's gonna go to your My Commands. So that's basically BIXBY Voice. And again, one more thing, settings over here. This one here, Voice Wake Up, is something you have to enable if you want to be able to say Hi BIXBY, or you can just press and hold the button. Just remember that. Either Hi BIXBY, enable, or press and hold the button to talk to BIXBY and give commands. But to come to this menu here, the main BIXBY menu, you just press the BIXBY button once or twice based on how you customized that button. So that's number 2, that's BIXBY Voice, all right? Now let me go back real quick and I'm gonna talk about, let's go to advanced features. You have the BIXBY key, we talked about that, just to customize the key. You do have BIXBY routines that you can turn on and off. So if you turn it on, and if you tap the button, it goes inside your routines. You go to recommended, and these are just like BIXBY quick commands, but they happen based on time and location. Let me show you an example. So there's so many options here. I'm just gonna go use one. So let's just tap on home. So this says here, optimize your phone for when you are at home. So if I tap this, if place, so you tap on this one, and you actually assign a place, your actual location, so the phone knows where you are at all times. So you tap here and you pick the address that you're at in this location. Once you do that, what it's going to do is then, if this condition is true, then run these actions, okay? So these 4 actions are going to be processed if you are at that given address. Now to use this, you do have to save the routine, and once you save the routine, it will go to the My Routines right over here, okay? And each routine can be disabled or enabled, as you can see. Now let me go back just one more example to get you more into this. Let's just use this, save battery at night. So tap it. Again, if these conditions are met, the time is, let's pick a time. If the time is 11:35 a.m. or p.m., click done. And if the charging status of your phone is not charging or charging based on one of these options, then click next. Do these. Turn Bluetooth off, always display off, Wi-Fi off, mobile data off. All right, so that's saving your battery at night. You can also add more conditions by tapping that button. All right, so if you wanted to add more conditions, you just tap right there. And then do not disturb is on. You can also remove conditions if you don't want to use them. And then click done. And now that routine is saved under your My Routines, and you can enable it by using it like that. So again, if I tap on this one, at that time, with that charging status, if these conditions are true, both of them, then boom, run this, all right? And then the other routines I have here, good morning. If the time is from 9 a.m. to 5:40 p.m., then blue light filter should be turned off, okay? These are just things I was testing. So that's how you use BIXBY routines. Very important to understand is that you have to go to recommended to set up a routine and then save it so it becomes your actual routine, and then enable it to actually run that routine. Okay, so you can have all these turned on and they'll run and do things at specific times and specific locations. Quite a powerful feature if you start using it consistently and with logic. And that's it, guys. That's what we talked about in this video was BIXBY Home right here. Talked about BIXBY Voice, BIXBY Routines, and that's basically everything that you need to know about BIXBY. And like I said, you can go to the camera and play with the BIXBY Vision. Honestly, I don't like to talk about that only because it really does not interest me at all, and I think it's useless. All right, so that was the last thing I want to talk about in this long video. So we are at the end of the actual video. I hope you enjoyed everything that I talked about. And of course, I hope that you are now a full and complete master of your Samsung Galaxy S10. Alright, so if you found this video useful, make sure to subscribe to Saki Tech by clicking that button, and also click that bell icon on the side to make sure you get notified every time I upload a new video. And if you do use Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, you can follow me at Saki Tech Online to get the latest updates as well. Alright, have a fantastic day.